just to kick things off, I was looking through your account the other day, just, going through your recipes like I always do. And I remember when you first started this, you had like, I think when we first connected, you had like what, 30,000 followers. And immediately when I saw your account, I was like, this woman's going to make it really big because you're just so creative. You're so brilliant. And I was right. And here you are now with this massive following. So I'm just so excited to finally talk to you and find out how you did it. But I've always loved your account.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
It's true. So with that, Steph, how did you get started in this space? Like, what is your background? I love asking this question because I find that most of the time folks' backgrounds are completely unrelated, right?
Oh, yeah.
To like what same here. But how did you start?
So I was a teacher. I was a math teacher. And then, after I had my second kid, teachers unfortunately don't get paid much. And I was working part-time for the college. So by the time we figured out me going back to work after having him and stopping my part-time work at the college and putting 2 kids in daycare, it just financially didn't really make sense for our family. So I was home and I was starting to get really into nutrition, like going down a rabbit hole because my daughter was a toddler. So all of our family meals she was eating, obviously. And I started doing baby-led feeding with my baby. So he was eating everything too. And my husband and I just kind of always ate whatever we wanted to eat. We're huge runners. And I feel like I did a lot of low fat, high sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And so then as I'm researching so much, then I got so into it that I decided to go back to school to be certified as a holistic nutritionist. And then I was just like listening to podcasts, reading this book, all this stuff. So my sister was like, let's start a blog because she has a science background. She has a PhD. So she was like really into the science of everything. And it was supposed to be all about health, like health in our households and health with exercising and all this stuff. So that's why it was called Healthy Holistic Home. So it was like all the parts of our home and having kids and all that. And then we just kind of shortened it to Healthy Home, which is why there's that like annoying L in there that everyone is confused by. And I was just kind of posting my recipes on Instagram and some of the running stuff that I did with the kids just to kind of promote the blog. And then the Instagram became way more of the focus. My sister got really into work. The blog kind of went by the wayside.
Yeah.
And then it was all Instagram. And then it was interesting because I was just sharing on Instagram all the things I was making for our family. I'd have friends that'd be interested in recipes, so I would throw them up there. And then I remember the first time I had a brand reach out to me and asked if I would use their cranberries in a recipe. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Because I was like, yes, because I love that your cranberries don't have added sugar. And that's so huge. And I think they paid me $25. And I thought that it was like the world's most amazing thing ever. And then I was like, oh, well, this could be more than just kind of a hobby. Maybe this could eventually turn into something.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a really long time. So that's kind of how it all began, the whole journey.
I love it. That resonates with me so much, especially the blog part, because I feel like so many of us start off with the blog. Like WellnStrong started as a blog. And I feel like now, obviously with short form content, everything's social media. So sadly, the last time I actually wrote a blog article was probably like 2 years ago, but it's still there, right? Like my site still hosts like content and recipes and guides and whatnot, but it's so interesting to look at like the evolution of content, even with like food photography. Like I remember going on Instagram stuff and seeing just pictures, these beautiful pictures of food. And then when Reels got huge, everyone was like, the game has changed and now you have to make Reels with food. And it's so funny too. Like I was scrolling through my own recipe Reels back from like 2020 and I like cringe when I look at some of the reel content I made with food. I'm like, how did I ever even like post this? But it's a learning curve. It's such a learning curve.
Yeah, like when I look back to the original pictures I posted, it was legitimately, we were just about to eat dinner and I'd like throw it on my floor and like take a picture of it. And looking back, I'm like, how did I do that? Where now it takes me like 3 hours to film a reel and then like another 2 hours to edit it. It is just like so crazy, that aspect of it. But I agree. I mean, it was so different back then. And then reels made everything a little bit more but it was less about the food photography. So that was partly good in a way.
Yeah. And honestly too, Steph, that was a question I had for you. How do you find the time? Because you post new recipes like every single day almost. And it does take so much time. Like people don't realize content creation takes a lot of time between filming and editing. And like my kitchen, I can imagine your kitchen with your family, but like my kitchen looks like a bombshell after I put like one recipe together. And it takes me hours to clean up, to film. It's a lot.
It is so much. I mean, when we moved into the new house, I was very fortunate. We had really big islands, but like the entire island is covered. Like it really legitimately looks like a bomb went off. And then it's like piles of dishes to do. I'm grateful for AirPods and being able to listen to books on tape or podcasts to kind of like make that time go a little bit better. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'm not like a really, oh shoot, I'm so sorry.
You're good. Don't
worry
about
can hear that, right?
A little bit.
So sorry. Okay, we're going to have to edit this.
We totally will. Don't worry.
We're getting our house inspected right now. I am so sorry. So they're testing the fire alarms.
It's fine. I'm glad they work.
My husband came in and he wrote a note, and that's what it is. The fire alarm is going to go off.
You're fine. Trust me. Do not worry.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all.
Well, since this is going to get edited
When did you guys move? Yeah, we'll get it.
2 years ago. It was insane. Okay. We moved 2 years ago. It was a total fixer-upper. We have redone every single room in this house.
I've seen that on your stories. I'm like Chip and Joanna.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like, maybe that's my midlife crisis. Maybe I'll do that too. But then last year, a year ago yesterday, our house caught on fire. So then it's been also fixing that up. So now we are here 2 years later, and our house is like done. Like as of like last month, it's all done. So we don't have to worry about anything anymore. Okay. Good. So they went off. So I'm hoping that
if they go off again, don't worry, Steph. It's really fine.
Sorry.
Don't be please do not be sorry. It's totally fine.
Oh my gosh.
It's super easy. But I forgot, you were saying about what were we talking about?
Oh shoot, I don't even know. About how the kitchen is always such a mess. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like some people, I think they're way neater than I. I just like take every ingredient out and I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to need this again. So I put it away.
Same.
And I also like to batch content. So that helps me because everything's out anyway. So then I can do like a bunch of different meals and then desserts and then do all the cleanup. This year has been a lot better for me with time management because my daughter is in preschool 3 days a week, a little bit longer. So she's there for 5.5 hours. So I can get, like I usually come home and I'll do my post and then I can film 2 recipes, maybe even a third one. And then that's all I do that day. So then I can like clean up. And then the next day she goes to preschool. I'll do all my editing.
Yeah, same.
And then this year I've been really actually focusing on going back to the blog. So then it's like, then writing the blog articles for that. So, but you're right. It takes so long. Like, I think that people don't even realize how long everything takes.
No, they don't. And I like when I first started learning how to use InShot, I'm like, this is a complete, like, what do people use? What do food content creators use? Like InShot, CapCut, like Lightroom, like there's so many different apps. And it's so overwhelming for someone who is like just stepping into the space who is like no clue what they're doing.
Totally. Oh my gosh, Jack, this shows like how old I am. So when I first started this, oh my gosh, I'm so old. When I first started this, I had to look up how to post a story because I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
I love that.
But you know what? It's funny because my husband works for an ed tech company and he'll come to me and be like, wait, so how do I put this on my story? So I'm like, all right. So it makes me feel,
let me teach you.
Yeah, it's worth it.
But you know what? That's wild because like, look how far you've come, you know, like I absolutely love that. And also too, Steph, like, how do you come up with new ideas for your recipes? Because even too, like whenever I'm just scrolling through Instagram, I'll see these like incredibly innovative ideas. And then obviously things go viral, but like, where do you get that creative inspiration? I mean, as a math teacher, like I know you have that part of your brain, but like, how do you come up with these recipes?
It's usually based off of things I had as a kid because I was so addicted to sugar as a child.
Like your Gushers. Oh I love that recipe that you just posted. I was like, I'm making those.
Gushers and Dunkaroos, like things that like legitimately were my 90s childhood. But I had the nickname Sugar Puff growing up because I just like was known as the girl who had like the biggest sweet tooth. So basically, I don't want my kids having these artificial dyes or just like certain ingredients. But I want them to have those really fun childhood experiences too. So I just recreate these for them and obviously all the other people out there that I want to help. And so yeah, it's really fun. So I do a lot based on that. And then also my kids help too, because my daughter came home from school one day and she's taking Italian now. And her teacher was talking about tiramisu. So she was like, "Can you make me tiramisu?" So I said, "Okay." So I have to create some gluten-free, refined sugar-free version of tiramisu. Got it. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
With that too, Steph, so you obviously you have a desire to help your kids eat healthy, and I'm sure other families' children as well. What are some of your favorite tips or hacks for ensuring that kids get their daily nutrient needs? And one thing I love that you do so seamlessly is you integrate those healthy nutrients kind of sneakily into your food recipes so that the kids don't really know what they're eating. Oh, yeah. So for moms and dads out there who are what tips can we use? What thoughts do you have on that?
So I feel like if you're ever struggling with a kid having a hard time eating vegetables per se,
yeah,
smoothies are my go-to. Whenever I had a toddler who went through that stage where they were no with everything, I would make smoothies because they love smoothies. They taste sweet because they have fruit in them, or maybe a really clean protein powder for a kid. But you can put spinach, cauliflower is great in smoothies. It's funny because my one kid, he will love the spinach in it, and then my daughter will love the cauliflower. But I'm I don't care as long as there's some veggie in there. Yeah. And they make them thicker, and then you can add cottage cheese in there or something else to give them more protein. So I love smoothies because a lot of times that's something I can do in the morning, and then it kind of takes that pressure off. Okay, you know what? If today is a hard day, it's okay. We started the day with some good protein, some fruits, some veggies. And you know what? If the struggle happens later, there's enough things about being a parent that stress you out. Let's not make every single mealtime stressful.
Yeah.
Also, we like to make sure at our meals at our dinner time, we don't make separate meals for our kids, which has been a struggle, especially having 3, because there are very different, unique personalities. But we try to always have something at dinner that we know each of them likes. So Smart. Sheet pan meals are phenomenal because we can do a bunch of different veggies. So Charlotte loves roasted broccoli. So we'll make sure that that's on the sheet pan. Anything where they make their own. So a poke bowl or a taco night or salad bar night is a favorite in our house. Because they own it, you put out a whole bunch of stuff and then they make their own plate. And it just takes so much pressure off than meals where I am so excited about a meal and put it out and Jack's
and no,
what's this? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just wanted to try something new.
I love that. That's brilliant.
Thanks. I just feel when there's a lot of options, it just goes so much better. And then there's not that mealtime frustration.
Right. And I feel they're more inclined to want to eat what's on their plate if they put it together, right? So they feel not only A, do they like it, but B, it's that independent, oh, I cooked my own or I put my own plate together. I'm going to eat it now.
Yeah. We do a lot of family style. So even Evelyn, who's 4, she'll put things on her own plate. And, you know, sometimes she has a ton of we will have some sort of a taco something or other, and her whole plate might be Greek yogurt, and that's what she picked that night because she's just craving. Loading up the Greek yogurt.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you find stuff do you plan meals consistently? So every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, or do you find that being consistent helps? Because I also know that there are a lot of parents out there who work and they also want to make sure that their kids are eating healthy. And sadly, people kind of sacrifice the health or the nutrient component of the food if they don't have enough time. So what are some hacks for parents out there who are really low on time but want to make sure that their kids are eating a healthy meal?
So it's getting so much harder for us now because not only are we working, but now there's so many activities between 3 kids. And I
can imagine.
Yeah, I really value the time we can sit down to eat together. So sometimes we're eating at dinner at 4:45. So our meal planning is huge. My husband, he's really great. He will plan out 3 months ahead. So like we just,
Wow.
yeah, I know.
That's
So
amazing.
it is.
Goals.
And like, yeah. And he, at this point, like it's kind of nice because it's almost like he has his own system where things rotate and he has like, it's on like an Excel sheet. So he'll link to the recipe. So it's like makes my life a lot easier. But then, so Sunday, we just pull up that week ahead and then I can grocery shop for that whole week. Tuesday, like you said, it's always some sort of a Mexican. So we rotate between, we make like a healthy version of stacks. I don't know if like you're familiar with it. I think it's Chipotle. I don't know, wherever it's from. And then we do a veggie nachos. We do burrito bowls. We do tacos.
That's so fun.
So it's like once a month you have one of each of those. Friday is always sourdough pizza night. So
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's really easy for me too because I'll make a double batch of sourdough pizza crust and that will last us a couple weeks and I just store it in the freezer. So then that day, it's so easy. All I have to do is put out the crust. Evelyn loves topping it, so I don't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
And then put it in the oven.
I love that.
Yeah, so those are two easy ones. And then it's really just the other 3 nights that we plan. And we don't have very expensive meals because honestly, this is the point of our life where we just don't have the time right now.
Right.
So, I mean, sometimes it's just like a bake that we have always liked and we'll just use that. Right now, this time of year, grilling is huge for us. So that's really nice and quick. We just grill something and have some veggie and some side on there.
Yeah.
But something that helps me a lot, especially in the wintertime, is double batching everything. So what I'll do is I'll double batch a meal.
Smart.
Yeah. And then I just freeze it. And so then that night, all we have to do is just heat it up. It's super easy. And that saves me so much time.
Yeah.
And that's like
true.
Even for my husband and me for our breakfast, that's what we do. So he makes like 2 months of breakfast burritos. So like the entire island is covered. I think it's like
where's his Instagram account?
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
I'll follow
it. I know he posted one thing on my Instagram that did so well. I'm like, do you want to just take over my Instagram?
Do you want to take over my account?
Yeah, seriously, go ahead. But I think he makes like 60 burritos because he batches it all. So he makes like.
Do you have like a separate freezer stuff and like fridge?
We do.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like,
yeah, we do. We have a freezer in our garage, so that is very helpful. But I mean, that's so great because then we just take out from the freezer some breakfast for the week and then it's ready to go.
That's so smart.
Yeah, batching helps us. And it's more like I'm really bad. Like some people are really good at meal prep. I'm like not, but I'm really good at making multiple batches at one time because I'm like, I'm getting all these ingredients out anyway.
You might as well. Right, you have to turn on the oven. You might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I make taco meat, I make like 6 pounds of taco meat because it's the same as making one batch, right? So why not save so much time?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I wish I live in an apartment, but like one day when I get a house, I'm definitely going to have a separate freezer to store everything.
That is true. Like I am very fortunate that we have the freezer space because that really does help so much. Because I mean, we're a family of 5 and my kids like eat. So I feel like we go through a lot of food.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking about that too, Steph. Like right now, like it's just me. But even too, like I find that like I also can be a black hole because I also am a runner. So anytime I'm like doing like long runs, I can eat like an entire fridge worth of food. And I'm like people who have children, like how much, like I just can't imagine the amount of food they have to make in order to like satisfy each mouth.
It's a lot. I tell you, we, right now my kids are on like a gluten-free sourdough waffle kick. So I can't even tell you the stack, like on Sunday night. It's like yay high. I'm not even joking. Just to like get us through the week. But then
it's a full-time job.
Yeah. But then it's so nice because then in the morning, when things are you
just pop it.
Haywire. Yeah. I'm like, air fry this. There you go.
Yeah. I love that. Where do you guys do a majority of your food shopping?
We're all over the place. So we have.
Where are your favorites?
Costco. Costco is huge. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What would I do without Costco? And then like our local shop, right? And then we have this farmer's market that's like actual store. It's not even just like a farmer's market on Sunday.
Where?
And it's just in our town. It's one of the best things.
I was like, would I know it?
No,
yeah,
you really.
I love Hillsborough.
It's the best. But so the prices are amazing. I mean, you have to like eat the stuff or freeze it pretty quickly, but they're phenomenal prices. So I can like stock up on lots of fruits and veggies. But yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like, and then I'll like go to Trader Joe's once a month. It's like all these places because I have like I'm trying to save money where I can. So I know, this is the best price for this. And oh my gosh. And then my dad a couple months ago was like, so do you want to go in on a pig, a mate and a cow? So like that's too. Right now I have like part of a pig and we're supposed to get parts of a cow soon. So
when's the farm coming?
Oh my gosh. I've been like really begging my husband, like, hey, can we please get the chickens already? I mean,
Steph, you would save so much. You would save so much on taxes, just saying.
Okay. So I'll make sure that he listens to this part of the podcast because it's been like a 5-year commitment trying to get him to say yes to that.
That's so funny. So I told you I went to high school in Morristown, Villa Walsh, and I remember just like we would take the back roads to school and you would see these massive, beautiful mansions, right? And then you'd see like a stray chicken or a stray cow. And I would always be like, Dad, like, why are like these like random farm animals like on this property? My dad's like, taxes. And I'm like, I didn't realize because in New Jersey, you get a significant tax savings if you have farm animals, apparently. I don't know like the exact rule, but I understood from that point on why like all these mansions would have like random farm animals on their property.
Oh my gosh, I really need to look into this because Jersey taxes are insane and I want chickens anyway. So like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a win-win.
I love that. One thing I do, so I have a Costco nearby, but I don't have a car. So I'm kind of limited with like where I can go, but I do meat delivery. So I'm sure you've heard of like Wild Pastures and Butcher Box.
Yeah.
So I found that's helpful too for like folks out there who like don't really have access to a Costco, but you can set like your monthly delivery or subscription box like every 2 weeks or every 6 weeks, like depending upon, how frequently you go through it. But that's been a big game changer for me too, just like having access to that in my freezer.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many more places out there now, which is so great.
Yeah. Going back to ingredients though, Steph. Yeah. So for parents out there who, again, like may not be too nutrition savvy, if you could tell them like, these are, 3 to 5 ingredients you should not give your children, what would those be?
So can I kind of twist it a little bit as to like one ingredient to start with?
Ooh, I love that. Let's do that.
So let's start with sugar because my husband and I watched this this documentary called oh gosh, and now I'm not going to be able to think about it. But anyway, so it was a documentary about sugar and basically how much it affects your body, even if you're like, so we were athletes, we were marathon runners, and so we had no idea all this was happening inside of our body. And so we started kind of deep diving into our own food pantry. And it's just so crazy how much sugar is in everything and how many things don't really need it. So I think like I work with some families and that's where I always start is let's take a look at the cereals. Let's take a look at the barbecue sauce, the ketchup, the peanut butter, the jellies. Like there's
bread.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Bread.
It's crazy.
There's so much stuff that has so much more sugar in it. The yogurt, like things you don't even realize. And there's so many things that are marketed to children, which make me so upset. And they just have so much sugar and it's really not good for the kids to be starting their day with that. And when there's so many kids, I mean, my son has, there are just different things that affect different kids, right? So when you remove these things, it's amazing how much it helps behavior too. And just gives them more regulated emotions. And it just, that you're just kind of helping their body. So, and also because it's an easy start. So that's the thing. Like I remember when we switched our bread, like we switched to Ezekiel and like my kids noticed a difference at first. Whereas like, when we switched our peanut butter, they didn't notice a difference. So there's different things that are an easier switch, I think, when your kids are already used to certain foods. Or have things as like a treat thing, like a dessert thing or something, but maybe not to start our day with something that has 12 grams of sugar in it right before going to school.
Do you know what's so funny too, Steph? So growing up, my mom was always very health conscious with food. She was like, I call her one of the pioneers of Whole Foods because she started going there when they like first opened. She was like one of their very first customers. And my sister and I grew up like, eating pretty healthy. And it was funny because whenever I found myself at friends' homes and like there would be like Fruit Loops or like Gushers or whatever. Like I would go crazy because I like, didn't have access to that. But like hindsight, I really do appreciate the fact that like my mom didn't have that in our house. Right. And I think it's a matter too of, like you said, even like finding like healthier substitutes, like for those like Fruit Loop cereal. Like now there's 3 Wishes. I don't know if your kids have had that, but I love 3 Wishes. And like for our listeners, it's made with like chickpeas and it's really not a lot of sugar, but it tastes really great. Like the sweeteners they use stevia, I think, but just like healthier alternatives that, you can provide to your kids even as a treat once in a while.
Right. Yeah. We love 3 Wishes. And it is true because you can find, I feel like there's so many brands now that you can find so many better versions. The hard thing is I'm going to be real, things are expensive. And that is why I make a lot of things because it's pricey. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, am I really going to spend X, Y, and Z on this? But then you get deals and then like I stock up. Like my basement has like 20 of this because I'm like, okay, this is a really good deal. And then I don't have to spend the money later.
Yeah. No, I love that.
So we're big. The sugar thing is really big. The food dyes, my son is very sensitive to food dyes. So that's something that we eliminated. And whereas my daughter, she was never sensitive, but that's like a big one in our house. And I'm happy that the way things are going, it seems like we won't have to worry about that as much, which is really good. Just like the high fructose corn syrups, I think that more companies are becoming aware of all of these things. And I think that a lot more people are becoming advocates, which is great. So you can see a lot of them making the shift, which I really appreciate, but trying to find more natural ways to sweeten. So the honey, the maple syrup, the stevia. But the dates, like, and that's another
I love
thing.
Dates.
Yeah. So also for anyone who is like starting making recipes at home and wanting to make them healthier, I remember like I didn't even know about dates. And then like I felt like I became like the date girl because all my recipes were like sweetened with dates.
Steph, did you see there's like this new viral like fudge like ball whatever recipe, and it's basically just made with dates, and like that's how I make all of my cosmic brownies. But I'm like, I make this all the time. Like, why is it all of a sudden viral?
Like I self-published a cookbook 4 years ago, and it was like most of the recipes are sweetened with dates. I think that people like in the beginning are like weary of things, and then as they become more common, then they're like, oh, okay. Like my neighbor is like sending me all these date videos, and I'm like, yeah, I made that one. Yeah, I made that one. Yeah. But I'm happy though. Honestly, like I'm happy that it's becoming more the norm, and so people are seeing how fruit is amazing. Bananas are so amazing to sweeten. Applesauce is amazing to sweeten. There's just like so many things that you can put in a recipe other than sugar. Yeah,
I love that. You mentioned a cookbook. So you did that. Can we hear more about that, Steph?
Yeah, it's so weird because I like never talk about it now because I feel like so much has changed in the last 4 years.
I know.
I mean, now it's 4.5 years.
Yeah.
I just really wanted to do this before my daughter was born. So I think I like legit published it like a week before she was born. But so it's 50, it's called Eat Dessert First. So it's 50 desserts that mostly are just sweetened with fruit. So that's why it's Eat Dessert First. So you eat them like for breakfast.
That's so fun.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I feel like in this journey, I have so many more recipes that I want to put into a cookbook one day. That is a big goal of mine. But there are several recipes in that book that we still make all the time. Like there's a brownie dip that's made with chickpeas. We make it all the time. There's the cake recipe I still make for my kids' birthdays all the time. So
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like really special to me because it was a big step for me. But I feel like I just don't talk about it because it's just, I don't know. It's not what I'm always sharing now on Instagram.
No, I know. Same here. I have a recipe guide. It's like high protein, healthy desserts. Yeah. And I love it because like you said, like you can literally eat some of these recipes for breakfast. Right. Because I'll just put like collagen protein or, something in it that obviously is like includes protein and won't spike your blood sugar, and it's healthier. Like my protein waffles, I use my waffle maker all the time. Steph, I love that waffle maker. Yeah, even if it's like just me Sunday mornings, I'll be like stacking up the waffles, and it's fun because you can experiment with different protein powders and different tastes. But I love that.
Yeah.
Also, when you mentioned cake, I remember that story you posted of like, I think it was your husband's birthday. And like your son always blows out the candles.
Always. Oh my gosh, it's so funny that you remember that. Yeah. It's like, we like did a time hop. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many years has this happened? But yeah.
So funny. Do your kids have a staple, or like, do each of them have favorite recipes that you make? Like, do they request things from you? Like,
Yes.
Mom, like, make this week.
So we're like, I don't know how many families do this, but we celebrate half birthdays in our household. So it's like, no one gets presents or anything like that, but they get to pick the dessert I make for dinner that night. So,
I love that.
Yeah, Jack's request is always a Choco Taco. Like, no matter what, that is what he wants. And then Charlotte, she kind of varies. Currently she's really into my sourdough chocolate chip cookies. That is like one. But then she also likes she likes things that are like frozen and like fruity. So I make this like one. I'm actually going to reshare it in a couple weeks, but it's
Can't wait.
Oh yeah. So it's almost like a strawberry smoothie that I freeze in ice cubes. And then I put like a little popsicle stick in it. And then when I pop them out, then I dip them in chocolate. So it's almost like a chocolate covered strawberry, but it's like, almost more like an ice creamy type. And she loves those. And then Evelyn, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She'll eat anything. Yeah, pretty much. She's home with me so much. So she helps me. She's amazing. Like, that's another thing is, as early on as you can, get the kids to help. Like, she is over there cutting things. She breaks all of our eggs for us. She's like a machine. She loves it. A couple Christmases ago, I got her just off of Amazon, like a child cutting set, and she always grabs her knife, and it's really amazing how much she'll help out.
I love that. Yeah. Switching to you, Steph. So we talked about like, how to incorporate healthy meals for your children and sneak those ingredients in. What does your typical day look like in terms of food? Like and I know every day is different, but I always like to ask this, like, what is like your typical, your favorite, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Okay, what's a day in the life for Steph?
So it depends on the time of year. So I'll do like a warm breakfast in the winter. So it's either the breakfast egg wraps that my husband makes, so that has like egg and sausage and peppers and cheese in it. Yeah. So either that, or when it's like this time of year, I really like a smoothie. So I do cottage cheese, protein powder, usually spinach or cauliflower, and then whatever else I'm feeling like adding in there. And so maybe a little fruit too. And then lunch is my hardest meal of the day because I'm always like, I'm working and it's so,
same.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's so hard for me to just like stop and make a lunch. Yeah. So I feel like I need to be better about prepping that for me. But like I said before, I'm a terrible meal prepper. So it's like, usually, honestly, I'll just grab lettuce and then I'll make myself a salad. So I'll have some sort of meat on top of there, and I throw in some hemp seeds and some other veggies. But it's like, I don't know, I'm not like super pumped for it,
I hear you.
It's like I'm eating to eat, which is terrible. Yeah. Right?
No, I'm the same way. Okay, breakfast is my favorite, and then dinner. Lunch, I'm like indifferent.
I know. Yeah, and then like I love our dinners. Like we have a whole bunch of dinners that we make, and there's like a ton. So it's not even. I'm sorry. This is it. I'm answering this terribly.
Yeah. No, you're not. I love it.
And then sometimes I'll just change it up. Like if I'm on like a sourdough kick, I'll make myself like sourdough with avocado and egg, like pretty straightforward, normal. Yeah. And there's always a treat in there somewhere because I love my treats.
I love that. Are you still running, Steph?
Yeah. So I was like, so now as I'm approaching my 40s, I've been really trying to do a lot more strength, like workouts, like with weights. But I am still running. I really like to do a race each year. So we'll see what race I do next. But now, because my hands, I can't lift weights right now.
I know. So I was going to ask, how's your hand feeling?
Oh my gosh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But so that's actually hard for me because I've been used to doing so much weightlifting, and now I have to like kind of shift it. So I've been running a lot more. But yeah, I'm like, I love running. I love that time where I can be by myself. I can
it clears your mind.
Yeah, like listening to a good book. And I just feel like as a mom, it's really hard to find time to yourself. And I'm pretty terrible about self-care. Like I feel like in the health and wellness world, I do a great job with like keeping up with my physical health and and what I put into my body. And like, I know food is medicine and I know how to use like herbs and stuff like that. But like, I know I need to prioritize self-care. And I still struggle so much.
Yeah.
So I feel like running at least is my time to have that time to myself, to not be mommy this, mommy that, you know?
Yeah. Steph, literally same. I mean, given I don't have children at this point in time, but running has become my outlet. And I used to run in college and then I kind of stopped. But this year, since taking WellnStrong full time, I told you that, right? Because I worked in finance for the past 8 years. And then December 31st of last year, I was like, it's time to leave, time to do this full time.
So that's like huge.
It's huge. And I mean, I'm 29 and like, it's been an adjustment. I don't have a team. I've worked in corporate for the past 8 years, but like starting in January, I was like, I really do need an outlet. And I got back into running and I do it just like you said, mostly just for the mental, emotional benefits of it. And I think that like people in the wellness space especially need to give more time to self-care because it's like you're giving so much of yourself, whether that's like, in food content creation or tips and advice. And it's just like, sure, the food we put on our plate is important, but like your mental and emotional health, in my opinion, is even more important.
Right.
So if you can't, give to yourself, you can't really give to others. So it's a balance for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like, especially with you going full time with WellnStrong, running a business is really hard in the sense that it's so hard to turn that off. Like, I feel like I'm constantly like, oh, well, I could be doing more. Like I could be doing this and why am I
like
not
one
doing
more
that?
Brand.
Yeah. And it's really hard because it's almost like you see when you put the time into it that it grows, but then it's also like, okay, well then when do we turn it off? So
exactly.
That's hard.
Really hard. No, that lends to my next question. And I kind of want to get into like the business aspect of it too, Steph. Like, how do you like have boundaries with social? Because similar to you, like I know we have our whole routine in the morning, at least I do, where like I'll post something and then I'll go on all of my friends' accounts. Like you've always been top percent. And we all comment on each other's posts because we want to show support. But like it's also gotten to a point now where I feel like it becomes like a chore, like a tedious like chore. And it's like, how do you still have joy, like retain the sense of joy without like having it turn into like, oh, I have to do this again type thing, whether that's posting content or like engaging with other users. Like, how do you have boundaries with that?
It's so hard. Right now I'm struggling a lot because I'm also struggling just honestly with the platform, how things that I once posted and did so well are not doing as well now. And it's really hard to pour your heart and soul into things. I'm so excited. Like even like my gushers, I was so excited about that recipe. I was so proud of that recipe. My kids loved it. Like whenever you're like, my kids love something, I'm like, yes, this is gonna hit. And then like when it doesn't like go as you expect, it really like I feel like it's bad for mental health. Yeah, it is. So I post, I do exactly what we do. I like support all of our friends, right? I feel like we've all been friends for years.
Community.
Yeah,
I know.
totally.
I love it.
So I try to set a timer for a half hour. So then
smart.
After a half hour, then I get to work and I create recipes, or if that's my blog writing day or my editing day. And then Evelyn will have like an activity later in the day. So when she's at gymnastics, then I'll go back on and I will comment. I'll respond to comments on mine or something. And then like anyone who commented on mine, I always want to respond to them and support them. Yeah. So, that's kind of been my goal, is to just cap it at a half hour, because then I was finding too that then I'm not having the time to create the content. And that's really why I'm here, right? I'm here I want to help people. Like I want to create these things for other people and to share them. And if I don't have the time to do that, then that's really hard. I do also feel like me being like, okay, today is a filming day. Today is a editing day. Today is that helps me too with just my time. And last year I felt like basically, like, I had Evelyn home so much and I just felt like I wasn't doing well with Instagram. I wasn't doing well being a mom. Like I just felt like because she was with me, I felt like I wasn't completely present with her. And because I was thinking like, oh, but I didn't do this yet. I didn't do this. And so this year has been really such like a weight off my shoulders in that regard. Thursdays when she's home with me, I don't do anything. I will maybe post in the morning, but then I do no work. I just am present with her. I take her, I mean, she's my baby. She's my last one. She'll be full-time school in a couple years. So I want that time with her to take her to the park or take her to the zoo or something like that. And then my mother-in-law is wonderful and she'll come on Tuesdays. So sometimes that helps me create more content on those days, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then the kids get home at 3. So for me, it's kind of like I have to turn that off unless there's like a time when they're at a practice and I can continue working.
Right.
But I am already, Charlotte is 11. She's in 5th grade. So all of her people are not necessarily her friends, but a lot of people are getting phones. So I have to do my job too as a mother to show her that I am not addicted to my phone. I am not, even though my work is on my phone, which makes it a little bit trickier. I need to show her that I'm not glued to it, that we have a world that's not on a phone, and because she's not allowed to have one. And so she's been pretty good about it all. But I do think that her seeing that balance is very helpful in that situation.
Yeah. I love that. That's so important. Even too, Steph, like when I was home in the past 2 weeks, I did not go on social like at all. I think like maybe once or twice towards like the latter end of that, but it was so healthy and it just helped me like remain present. And that's funny because I found that like the first few days, like I was getting anxious. I was like, oh, like what if there's brands like that are messaging me or like having this like need to feel like always available, whether it's to just followers who have questions or like people. And then I recognized like, no, that's not really the case. And you have to show yourself grace too. At like making yourself available 24/7 to people who like aren't really even in like your life. Like it's not really healthy. And I think like you and I have a desire, like our hearts are to help people. But also too, like there needs to be a healthy boundary where it's like, I'm not going to be responsive 24/7, right? Like someone can wait, or like if I don't respond to someone, like that is okay. It's like not the end of the world. But sometimes it takes like really taking a step back and doing that and then realizing, wait, like I didn't respond to this person in a few days, but like everything's still okay. You know, like, it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Exactly.
Yeah. Also too, Steph, what advice do you have for someone who wants to start their own food blog or social media channel? Like at this point in time, let's say like they're looking at your account, they're like, I want to be just like Steph. I don't have a blog. I don't have an Instagram channel. Like, what are the first steps they should take? And would you even prioritize like starting a blog, or would you just get right into creating that Instagram account?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I honestly am putting more time back into my blog now for my followers. So it's for my Instagram followers because I've had so many people say, do you just have a place that I could search your recipes? So it's really for them. So it's almost like it's all still connected to Instagram, if that makes sense. I feel like monetarily, it's coming from Instagram. It's not coming from the blog. So all that time is really just to support them. So I would say the first thing is clearly define your niche. I feel like in the beginning, I was doing all these meals that we had in our family. They were gluten-free. We were refined sugar-free. And so that's what I was creating. And it took me forever to gain followers. So long. And then
how did you go viral? I was going to ask you. I forget. Because I remember one day it's like you were at 30,000. And then the next I like checked your account and it was like 150,000 or something. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, what happened?
So I was at 8,000. I had been doing this for like 4 years. I want to say I was at 8,000 followers. And then I posted these apple pops that did really well. And that like bumped me. And then like only a couple weeks later, I posted this hand. It's like the charcuterie hand.
The Halloween hand.
That now so many people share. But so I posted a reel of that, and that just like it went, it's so crazy because I feel like now when any of my stuff goes viral, like it still don't blow up. Like it just, it was that time. I don't know what was about that time. But so then that did really well. And then I hit like a lull for sure. And then I think I like dropped in followers. And then I did, I'll reshare them again this spring, but they're like flower pots that are strawberries. And then that picked me up again.
I love those.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But so I would always post like, my husband jokes around that like fruit on a stick is my thing. Like dipped in chocolate. So it was like the apple pops and like all those types of things seem to do really well. So then I would do more of those. But then I kind of felt like I was like in a box. Like I didn't want to just be the fruit on a stick girl. Like I'm here to help moms or anyone else really just like eat a little bit better and find better versions of recipes they really want to eat. So then it's hard though, because I'll create these recipes knowing full well they're not going to do well because I'm like, oh, well, it's not in my niche. But I would say if someone's starting out, clearly define your niche and just like go into it, like full throttle. Like I almost feel like for you too, all of your infographics, like they explode. Like I feel like it's almost become like your niche, even though you have the podcast, but it's like,
it's
like
so funny.
It is like, not that it's funny. I mean, they're beautiful, but like that's your thing. That's your food on the stick.
And that's the thing, Steph, too. Like even with brands that I work with, like a lot of brands, like they like short form content, they like reels. And I'm always like, but like these don't really perform as well as the illustrations do. So it really is just a matter of like experimenting and seeing what works. Like for me, my monthly self-care posts, like those have become like my thing, so to speak. Like they get so many, and I like didn't even like that wasn't a thing until a few months ago when I started like seeing comments of people who are like, I look so forward to these posts every single month. And I was like, that's the sweetest thing ever. I'm going to keep doing them. But it's wild to see like what works. And I think that's so important because like what works for one person won't work for everyone. Right. And like, it really is a matter of, like you said, defining your niche and then kind of just experimenting with different content and like seeing what works and what doesn't. But yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. And I would say that it takes a long time. Like, I don't know people, I mean, people blow up overnight, but like that is not me. So it took me a really, really long time. And even now I feel like I'm plateaued. Like I just like, I can't move the needle. I feel like my engagement is way down. And so like some days I'm like, am I just going to just give it up? Like it is so
I know,
hard,
Steph.
honestly.
I know. And that's the thing too. I feel like content creators, especially, like it's really hard to maintain that like, sense of motivation because like you're always playing with different algorithms on these platforms. And like, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on TikTok. I never really got into TikTok and, I feel like I probably should have years ago, but I didn't like the platform. And now it's like, I'm starting to like try to post on it more and I still don't like the platform, but like you see these creators that like blow up overnight and like, there is a lot of comparison and you're always trying to be like, like what can I do? But I think like, it also kind of defeats the purpose because like if your goal is to just explode and like grow, like I don't think that's the best goal to have. I think your goal, similar to you, should be to like, I'm doing this to support people or help people with XYZ. And like the growth will come after that. Right. So like if you remember like the mission and like the heart of the mission, no matter what is going on, whether you're in a lull or a super like fast growth phase, like that will kind of help ground you to remember this is why I'm creating content, right? It's not to go viral. It's because I want to help people.
Right. That was like, I did like a series on Girl Scout cookies. Like I did like healthier versions of Girl Scout
favorite. I love those.
And I was like, I'm creating this for me. Like I'm creating this for me and my family and all the people out there who love Girl Scout cookies and want to have them year round, not just one time of year. And maybe they're gluten-free. They can't have these, so I'm doing that. I know it's going to bomb, but I don't care because it brings me joy. And then and then it made me so happy creating the recipes. And then when it bombed, it did make me a little sad, but it still was like, okay, well, we love these recipes and that's
you're doing it for you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love that. And I think too, honestly, like the content that performs the best, in my opinion, is like the content that like you really do create for yourself, So I love that. Yeah, the Thin Mints. Oh my gosh, your Girl Scout cookies. I'm a big fan. So I hope you always continue that series.
Thank you. Yeah, right now I'm having so much fun with my 90s series because I mean, I don't know if that's like too different time, but like it just like all these things like I grew up eating and I just want to remake them. And I mean, I feel like everyone is like a kid at heart, right? Who doesn't
100%.
love something nostalgic that just like brings them back to these fun times and just fun. It really is. It brings me so much joy to just make these fun things and to share them with my kids. Like that's the coolest when they come home from school and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what'd you make today?"
Best mom award. I'm gonna just show up to your house one day. I'm gonna be like, "Steph, I'm here. What did you make
me so happy.
We'll get together. I promise. Next time I'm home, that'd be so fun.
Okay.
I can't believe it's almost 11 o'clock. I could talk to you for another few hours. I'm going to have you back on. I'm so excited that I just got the chance to meet you. This has been a long time coming. Yeah. I'm super excited to share this with listeners. But with that, Steph, where can they find you, find all your wonderful recipes, get a copy of your cookbook?
So on Instagram and also TikTok, although it's not like big, and Facebook and YouTube, I'm at Healthy Home. So it's healthy and then HOLME. And then my website is healthyhome.com. So it's all the same thing.
Yay. Well, I'll be linking all of those in the show notes. And my last question for you, and I know you're probably expecting this stuff because I know you listen to the podcast, but that is, what does being well and strong mean to you?
I think I've actually been trying to think a lot about what I was going to say to this, because I feel like each stage of my life, it kind of changes. Like it's based on where I am at that time. And what I'm trying to focus on. And so right now, what I'm trying to focus on is kind of slowing down a little bit more, because I have a tendency to try to do. And for me to be well and strong, I need to be the best version of myself for my family, for my friends. So I need to find that balance between doing all these things to make sure I'm taking care of everyone else around me, but also filling my cup a little bit more. So that's currently my well and strong.
I love that. Nailed it, Steph. Well, this has been so much fun. Again, I'm really excited to share this. And yeah, I hope to have you on again at some point soon, Steph. We'll do it when your next cookbook comes out.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.